Welcome to the Gold Plus Roundup, where we review all the PlayStation Plus games and Games with Gold games that came out for free for every single month.
Some of these games, although they're free, are not worth your time. So we're here to get you through and in 10 minutes tell you which ones you should play. We're going to start off with Pumped BMX Plus, which was available on PlayStation 4, PS3, and Vita.
Yeah.
You should play this game on none of them. Ollie Ollie was a game that was a lot of fun, and like you could do combos and weird stuff. Pumped BMX, a lot of it is like getting the right angle and figuring out exactly how to get through the course. There's 5 difficulty levels. By the third one, I was having difficulty making it through the course at all, much less trying to do the tricks.
I got through almost all of the courses, and even the easy difficulty. It's hard to just get through the course, let alone do tricks. Even at easy difficulty. So I would say some people might want to play this every now and then just to kind of, I don't know, fill a little bit of time, but I'd skip it.
The main issue is it doesn't tell you how to get better. So skip that one. Super Dungeon Bros.
Super Dungeon Bros is a randomly generated, procedurally generated dungeon game with cartoony graphics. So think like Diablo with cartoony graphics and none of the things that you like about Diablo. It is.
All right.
It's. I'm sorry, but this game, I don't know. Maybe it's fun to play with a friend, but I really didn't get into it. It reminded me of Z Heroes, which we did about maybe a year ago at this point. The graphics aren't that great, even for cartoony graphics, they're not that great. The gameplay is really limiting, and the depths, I think is what they call it, instead of dungeons, they're not dynamic enough, they're not different enough to keep it interesting, so I'd skip this one.
Next up is Costume Quest 2, which probably should have been in October, when we have that Halloween thing.
Would have made perfect sense then.
But regardless of when it came out, this is kind of a hit or miss game. Like, it's got some elements that are fun, it's kind of quirky, it's kind of weird, you get different costumes, get different abilities, stuff like that. The story is interesting.
Sure.
But going to different things, I didn't really find that it held up all that well.
It doesn't hold up, and they didn't know who to target with their audience. It's targeting kids. It's too difficult for a lot of kids. And targeting adults is too childish for
So try it if you want. It's weird. It's quirky. It's different.
Yeah, it is definitely different.
But it doesn't really bring anything new.
Yeah.
So pass on that one.
Something else that doesn't bring anything new to the table is Dirt 3. I think this is the second time I've reviewed Dirt 3. This
still
is
the same game.
7th or 8th Dirt-ish game that I've done. It's the same old. To me, it's not good enough to play and enjoy repeatedly. If you want to just try a racing game, because you haven't played a racing game in a while, try it, see what you think of it. It's not something, to me, that draws your attention enough. There's not enough to do for this game to hold my attention, as opposed to some other racing games that have enough different mechanics as well as different activities to do. And this, it's just mundane. Skip it.
Letterquest is a game that I've had a lot of fun playing with my 5-year-olds. It's kind of like a version of an RPG Boggle.
Okay.
Like it gives you a bunch of letters down at the bottom, and the longer words you can make, the more complicated words you can make. It does more damage to the enemies when you hit. So you do like pig, then you'll hit for 25.
Okay.
If you do, pigment, then you'll hit for 32.
Ooh.
And so the bigger, more complex words you use, the more complex letters you use, the more you do. And like there's potions and like whole RPG elements, and you're going through a house and different, like there's timed missions and you can only hit them twice missions. It was surprisingly fun, and this is available on PS4 and Vita, and the first couple of levels can actually be played by people that are starting to learn how to read. My girls were actually using it to use the words that they know.
Sure.
And I was teaching them new words as they went.
That's
so
really great.
This can be an educational experience. I found it fun, even though I already know how to read.
Even though you already know how to read. That's really cool. Next we have Murdered Soul Suspect for Xbox 360, backwards compatible to Xbox One. This game has a lot of interesting aspects to the story, because you play a detective who had kind of a seedy past, who dies trying to...
murdered.
He gets murdered, like in the very beginning of the game, and you are basically a ghost trying to solve your own murder and solve a serial killer and all these other things. And there's different ways that you can interact with the world and different ways you cannot interact with the world.
So does it use ghost rules?
Some ghost rules. Oh, you're talking about like if you get really angry?
Patrick Swayze go. Oh.
No, which I thought it was going to do because the very beginning of the game, like this does not spoil anything, I promise you. Very beginning of the game, you're thrown out of a window and you realize, oh no, I'm a ghost. I'm outside of my body. I'm going to try to get back in. This isn't working. And then the person who threw you out of the window comes down there, picks up a gun and shoots you. And as he's picking up the gun, your character's trying to stop him. He's like, no. And then he takes a swing at him. He's really angry. And I was hoping.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because if you get angry enough, then it works.
Yeah. So conceptually interesting.
Gameplay-wise, it can be a little frustrating, but I'd say bear with it because it's actually a pretty interesting game. It does not. It looks like it's telling you way too much, and there are certain things that it doesn't tell you well enough. So it can be a little frustrating, but I think it's enough story-wise that you'll probably enjoy going through the gameplay.
If you enjoy 50s horror bad C movie like this guy, Deadly and me,
yeah,
Deadly Tower of Monsters is awesome.
Yes.
Highly recommended. It plays like a 50s or 60s sci-fi movie, and actually on the title screen it says, "Yeah, we're doing the DVD commentary for this movie you're watching," which is wonderful.
So you have commentary running the entire time of the director,
which actually didn't get old. I thought it would. I thought there would be a lot of like rehashed lines and stuff. Occasionally he'll get impatient with you if you're not doing a thing quickly enough, but they did very well at conveying what I was supposed to be doing, and I just kept moving forward. I haven't beaten the game yet, but I feel like I've made a lot of progress, and I've been enjoying every moment I've spent with this game.
And there are insider jokes about Hollywood, about old school Hollywood. There are references to Harryhausen and all kinds of other things in that. References to, I wanted a T-Rex here and we got this other thing, but who can tell the difference anyways? It's a blast, and I think anyone will really enjoy this game.
All right. Monkey Island.
Monkey Island is awesome, and everyone should play Monkey Island. Whitney's actually playing Monkey Island for the first time. She's about halfway through the game, has never played it, and she's doing my method for those type of games, which is play it when you hit a roadblock. You look that part up in the walkthrough. You do that one part, and then you continue. You go back, and you try to experience as much of the game as possible, fresh and without a walkthrough, which she actually ended up doing a good amount of the beginning parts of the game before I even got there. And
Very cool.
And yeah, there's some weird stuff in there, and this game is basically a remaster of the PC version. There's a lot of stuff that because it's a PC game, old school PC game, it does not convey the right way to you. So I just promise you that the humor in this game and the story in this game is worth it enough. Just plow through it and enjoy it, because it's totally worth it. Yeah, you get frustrated a little bit. Look up a little walkthrough and continue. It's completely worth it.
So that's a game we recommend with caveats.
Yes.
Blood Dragon.
Yes.
Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. I recommend without caveat. If you are a human being who plays video games and you like jokes, you should play this game.
Especially if you'll like it even more if you watched any old school '80s sci-fi movies.
Yeah, there's a lot of '80s like the Schwarzenegger era of action movies is the setting for this game, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
The characters are fun. The mechanics are fun. The giant laser dragons are fun. It just mixes so much stuff, and then the gameplay of Far Cry is something that I really enjoy. You can do stealth. If you're good at shooting, you can go through and just blow everything away. It's a fairly short game. I would say 6 to 8 hours to beat it. I finished it and then took care of everything else. So I took probably 10 or 12.
Yeah.
But it was fun the entire time.
Yeah.
And goofy and zany.
And a game that holds you and continues to hold you like that and keep you entertained. It definitely needs the accolades.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then our last game on the list is Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. This is another one of those games that we're going to recommend you play in one sitting if at all possible. Block out about 4 hours. It's one of the longer games that I've played that are single setting where there's not combat. You're just trying to solve a story.
Yeah.
But you're following this little golden glowy thing that will lead you to scenes that will interact from the past. Yes. You'll get to watch them, observe them, try to figure out the mystery. The puzzle solving is not really all that difficult, which I appreciated. You're just exploring this abandoned world and trying to find out why it was abandoned.
Yeah, and tip for that, you just take the controller and you kind of sweep back and forth. That's really what it is. It took me a bit to figure that out because it didn't outright tell me.
Yeah.
So you just kind of sweep until it kind of starts vibrating and hit that sweet spot and rock it. It's totally worth it. To me, it's kind of an ebb and flow. There are some situations where you may find a slight glitch. I had an issue where the people popped up before the light that brought me there, and then the light sat there and it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And if you know what I'm talking about, the light leads you somewhere and then you see people.
Yeah.
And instead it was the people first, and I had to exit the game and bring it back. But even then, it's completely worth your time. You really enjoy it.
I also recommend keeping a notebook and just jotting down theories, because that's just fun. Like there's a lot of different interpretations. Like it'll lay out a basic story for you, but how that story came to be and what you can theorize about the relationships of the characters was what I found most entertaining.
Oh yeah, Whitney wasn't writing it down, but she was playing it, and she noticed different things, and which I was so proud when she did this, because she was like, hey, they all have this book.
Yep.
Every single one that I've gone to, I have this one book.
Yep.
Which I thought was really cool. Kind of theorizing why do they all have this? So. Yeah.
So those are our recommendation for the PlayStation Plus and the Games with Gold games for November 2016.
Yeah.
Tell us in the comments what you enjoyed and if you picked up anything based on our recommendations.
Yeah.
We'll see you next month for the free games of December 2016.